Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of what if Deku was a survivor. Now, I had an idea. I'm gonna put Deku in a special ops team. You know, this team I'm gonna call the Shadows. So there were 8 members, including Deku. You know, all special in their own rights, with different quirks. You know, bomb experts, snipers, people that use knives, basic, hand-to-hand combat, things like that. This experts in all those fields, and they are Japan's special forces, as you could say. They are what they send to, handle things like rescuing a specific target and things like that. So, and sometimes they will be the president of Japan's guards to protect him when he goes out. So Deku is admitted on this team as the captain of the team. Shows Deku to everyone else, and they say that this is our new recruit, Izuku Midoriya. He will be helping us with our missions from now on. And think of him as a new addition of our team. So, they all get to know each other. I'm not gonna come up with names for any of the crew, because that's too much for me to think of. Y'all might forget their names like I always do, and come up with different ones, even though I already got the names of them. So, for their first mission, they already have to do something. They have to go out to Japan. They have to go into Korea, South Korea to be exact. And they have to save someone. A Japanese man in Korea, which basically he wasn't really supposed to be there, and he had information on Japan that shouldn't leak out to the rest of the world. If it does, it could cause some problems. So this is not like from the government. This is from villains. Villains basically have information that the Japanese government doesn't want any of the world knowing. So they send Deku's group to get the information back and basically save the man. Since the man, basically isn't a villain, he basically just this, person that, found out about this and he went to hiding. As Deku team goes there, basically, and they bring the man back. The man is shocked that he got saved by, 8 people and a kid, to be exact. As they bring them back and they show, basically, the government. The man basically explains what this thing is. They say this is something that a villain had. They said that this villain was planning on making nukes to destroy the whole, world. Not world, but the whole country. And, they send Deku and his team to basically destroy this organization, this villain organization that are making these nukes. As they go in. They go in at night, so, basically to be quiet, more stealth. They are wearing black, suppressors with their guns and, knives. No flashbangs, no grenades, because they want to be stealth. It's smoke grenades. Dang, everyone posted now. So, Deku, basically sneaks in through a vent. 2 people go with Deku, 3, and the rest of them go. The rest of the 5 go in the building, and stay slowly but surely moving around the building, taking out any targets that they find. Then they have the main room. As they throw in smoke grenades, as it smokes the area. As they put on thermal goggles, as they take some all out. As they call it in. Mission completed. The base that we have hit, all targets have been terminated. as they come at the base. And the villain organization is no more. No, they spend the next 2 years, doing this. Deku hasn't come back home much, So Inko is a little bit worried, but she isn't really that much worried. Because she knows Deku's with, trained professionals and he can handle himself. Now, during these 2 years, Deku actually got admitted from the team. Now it's just a 7-man team. And he was put on, protecting the president full time. The president got 2 people that's protecting him, Deku and another woman. This woman is very skilled. So, one time, Deku was out with the president and this woman, and they was in a car. They were driving. Then they got ambushed. Deku put the president's head down, grabbed out his pistol, and started shooting through the window. Taking down 2 hostiles straight away. The woman then, hopped out the car and took down 4 more. Deku then pulled out, basically some body armor. He put it on the president and he dragged the president out the car. And he moved the president to the side of the road, to keep him down. As, they basically protected the president for 3 days, with the president only getting a little bit scrapes and not getting hit, really. Then after 3 days, the rest of, the president got rescued by some helicopters that came in and took him up. And they returned back to the house where the president lived at. As the president's wife was, shocked to hear that he got ambushed, but he's happy that that he didn't die. As now we go back to the future. 2 years later, Deku's still protecting the president, and we're gonna skip point of view to Bakugo. Bakugo still remembers Deku, and all. He remembers that Deku went missing from the middle school, came back a couple years later, and he was different. He didn't talk much, and he didn't really like people touching him, which he had this thing that he imposed on instincts, where he'd, basically take someone down. Bakugo did figure out for Mitsuki that it was on instinct and not on purpose. Bakugo heard what all happened to Deku, and he basically feel bad for Deku. He didn't know Deku went through all this pain. And Bakugo tried to change, which he did. He started bullying people, and he got over his superiority complex. He knows that not everyone was born with the same power, and he has too much power. And this power can be dangerous and used for villainy. So he basically wants to use his power to go down hero, to be a hero with his power, to show other people with his kind of power that they don't have to be called a villain just because their power look villainous. And he also thought about this. Just because someone has a flashy quirk does not mean it's the best quirk. Bakugo changed a lot from canon. On this day, Deku actually gets, says he can leave. He gets leave from being with the president, being the president's guard for, I want to say, a couple of years. He gets leave. The president just stays, in this estate. He brings up the 7, people that was with Deku before he left their team. They went on a lot of missions together, so he brings them up to bodyguard him with his already, bodyguard. Whatever her name is, just think of one that you want. And think of the team, whatever names you want them to have. On the team, there's 2 girls and, the rest of them boys. See, 2 girls, 5 boys. Think of the names for them. As you please, I do not care what name you come up with. But if you actually type in names, I'm not going to remember them, so you will have to do that. I'll get bored. Tell you the truth. Turning my TV on. Okay. As Deku comes back to basically Inko sees Deku again after a couple of years, and she's happy to see him. Now she rushes and hugs him, which Deku doesn't flinch from this. He doesn't move, and unlike other people, he doesn't attack her because Deku has this sense, as you can say. He senses bloodlust. Like I said before, he mastered bloodlust so he can sense it. And Deku's pretty good at this. So Deku basically, I'm gonna explain it like this. If Bakugo were to touch Deku, he would basically flip Bakugo over and attack him. But if Inko was to do it, he wouldn't do anything because he feels safe around her. Feels like he trusts her. Basically, mother figure. That's why he does that. There's also Mitsuki that he doesn't do that to either. But he does that to Masaru. Masaru is Mitsuki's husband, which I figured out the name too. Oh, sound like somebody outside. Oh, that's my mother's boyfriend. Well, her ex. So don't worry about that. And my little sister's home. So, let's get back to the story. As Deku comes back and he's basically living with Inko again, and Inko says, why don't you actually apply to be a hero? Deku says, wait, become a hero? I never thought about that. As Deku thinks about becoming a hero, he says, I'll do it, So Deku, going to UA. He gonna go to UA. As Deku is implemented back into school. He goes back to, middle school, and he basically is going to school. Bakugo sees him. The rest of the students don't know him. Bakugo do. My sister finna come in my room. I already know it. Yep. Don't come in. I'm making a video. You heard me? Tell everyone I'm making a video. Tell her to be quiet. Bring my food too. Nah, I'm gonna keep going.
So they can hear me?
Yes.
Hey.
No. Nobody wanna hear you. I'm sorry for that. That's my little sister. That's my little sister. I'm sorry that you heard her. But, she's basically annoying me. That just said my name. Why everyone said my name? Okay. So, as Bakugo basically explains to the class that he knows Deku and he's basically friends with him. This might be the day you guys hear my name. Okay, you can leave now. Why you say my name? No, get going. I'm sorry for that. So, Bakugo explains who Deku is. He is his old childhood friend that basically went missing for a couple of years, and that he's actually pretty skilled in martial arts. He asks Bakugo what his quirk is. Bakugo says he is quirkless. Some kids try to bully Deku, but Deku don't take it. Someone touches Deku and Deku flips him over. Bako tells them you probably shouldn't touch him. He has this, he just had this thing that when anyone touches him, he acts on instinct and flips someone over. And some of them think it's bullcrap, but the other ones think that it's, oh yeah, he is a martial artist, So, as the days of school go on, Deku becomes a little bit popular from the fights he got in. He always wins them no matter what. Even though people have quirks, some even have strength quirks, but he still takes them down. Deku takes no loss. And they start calling him, basically people start being scared of him because they know that he can fight. And some of them try to, he don't tolerate bullying. And some people try to bully others, but he don't tolerate it. Every time someone tries to bully someone, he always stops it. And Bakugo doesn't try to bully anyone. So, Bakugo's in the clear. And Deku actually starts talking to Bakugo. I'm sorry, I'm eating right now. Okay. As finally it's the end of the year. As the teacher comes in, throws the papers up, and said, first he says, all right, class, this is a paper to see what career you're going to choose when you grow up. As no one is talking, then the teacher says, oh, who am I kidding? As he throws the papers in the air. I know you all want to be heroes, as everyone starts using their quirks and going crazy. The teacher then says, Bakugo Koski, you want to go to UA? And Bakugo says, I do. And the teacher says, oh, Izuku Midoriya, you also want to go to UA? And Deku says, I do. And some of the kids start to laugh, saying that Deku can't get in. Deku just ignores them and goes about his day. As the class leaves, Deku goes and he goes under the same tunnel as Kenny. Gets when the sludge villain attacks him. He dodges out the way the first time, second time, third time. But the fourth time, the sludge villain gets a hold of him, and he is suffocating him. This when something strange happens. Deku's eyes change from green to red, and a reddish aura comes around him, and the sludge villain explodes off him. Then Deku starts to laugh a little bit. I can't do it. My voice too dry. You want to try it? You want to try to laugh? So, I'm finally free at last. So, how are you doing? As he looks towards the sludge villain, as the sludge villain is wondering what is this, power that this kid has. As Deku basically, looking at the sludge villain with red eyes, looking at him, saying, "So, did you just try to kill me? With your weak power, you couldn't even stand even a flick from me. The other guy may be too nice. Well, a little too nice. He kills, but not every time. But me? I am your worst nightmare, buddy. So, Do you want to die or do you want to live? As red aura around his fist basically changed from that red aura to red electricity. As he points it at the sludge villain. Sludge villain says, "Whatever, kid, I'm going to steal your body." As Deku shoots the electricity, he says, "Wrong answer." This when All Might comes, and All Might sees this kid using this quirk, so he wants to stop him. But this one Deku goes a little bit, saying, "Oh, if it isn't All Might, the number one hero." All Might, I always looked up to you when I was a child, but that all changed when I got kidnapped that day. Well, it looks like it's time for me to leave. The other guy is waking up. Oh yes, you should remember the name. My name is Ripper. Or as he calls me, T Deku. See you all later. Bye bye. As Deku falls over, knocked out. All Might knocks out the sludge villain and then, puts him in a bottle and takes him to the police station. After that, he brings Deku to the hospital. All Might is wondering what that strange power is that Deku had. And what did he mean by the other guy? As he leaves, because his time limit is up, this one Deku wakes up. And goes in the hospital. She's worried about Deku. She sees that Deku woke up and, Deku wondering what happened. Nico says she don't know. She says that All Might saved him. All Might explained that he had red eyes and a red aura around him using red electricity. Deku then had a shocked expression and says, wait. What do you mean? Did I lose control? And goes, asking, what do you mean lose control? Deku then explains, back when I was in that place, I gained some strange power. And ever since then, I always called it T Deku. It's like an alternate version of me, but it has powers that far extends my, clutches. I cannot control that power, but he can. And I was wondering what Deku means by this, and Deku just explained that he has a power that far exceeds him. So, 10 months of training. Deku basically trying to, practice his skills, get, clutch on them. Then Deku thinks about this. He's going to actually meet T Deku as he meditates. He enters his mind. He sees T Deku just sitting there in a chair as he, speaks to Deku. So, you finally managed to get to this place. Hello there, Izuku. So, T Deku, how have you been? Living in my mindscape. T Deku says, it is fun, but I really love the outside world. Deku then says this. Why don't you just come with me? As T Deku is shocked from what Deku just said and asks him what he means by that. As Deku says, look, we both know that you are me. So why don't you just fuse with me already? Become me. We act as one. We don't have to be separate entities. I know you are a manifestation of my rage, my hatred, but you are me. We need each other. We push and pull each other. We are sun and moon. So, as Deku extends his hands, come with me. Become me. Let's form harmony. As T Deku is actually shocked from this and he thinks about it. And then he accepts it. He actually becomes, in harmony with Deku. Now this changes Deku's appearance. No, his eyes, they were usually green. No, change. I don't know. I'm just gonna say his eyes changed from green to, different look. His eyes go from green to one eye go from green to red. One eye goes from green to red, and the black highlights in his hair, go red with the green. So his hair is now red and green, and he has the powers of Deku now. Deku explains to Deku all his powers, basically, flight, electricity. Well, he can basically control electricity, energy manipulation, and human strength. Basically very strong. And human, defense. Basically, he has very strong body, teleportation, and very good at fighting. That's all his powers. As Deku starts training with their powers, he gets proficient with it, and he, goes to UA. He does the entrance exam. He is very smart because he had to be to survive. So he gets second place. Momo still gets first. Oh yeah, I want you guys to think of a ship. Put in comments whatever one I think is the best. I'll choose. As then the fighting portion, that Deku and Bakugo don't talk to each other, so they're just sitting there. But Ida still gets up and tells President Mike, "Can I believe that UA makes such a drastic mistake?" And then President Mike shut Ida up and says, "I was gonna explain the 0 pointer, but you interrupted me." Ida feels a little bit embarrassed, and President Mike explains the 0 pointers. Now, going to the exam area, Deku actually stops Bakugo, and he tells Bakugo, Bakugo says, "What do you need?" Deku explains to him, "I have gained the power of Hit. I have gained his power." He's wondering who his is. He is. He explained that was a separate entity inside of me. You can say he was a manifestation of my rage, my hatred. And he had powers. Me and him fused together to come one again. As he puts out his hand, both hands, one side green energy, the other side red energy. He says that we have become one, and we are starting to use our powers together to move together. And Deku says that's why I have this one red eye. As Bakugo is shocked from this, but they leave each other. As they go to the exam areas, Deku doesn't speak to Araka, and Ida don't speak to Deku. As the president says, "Go," they all rush off. Deku, use his skills, for efficiency and fighting to take down robots. Then he uses his powers that he gained from Deku to take down more robots. As he gets a sufficient amount of points to get him first place, and he stops. Then they release the 0 pointer, and everyone starts running away. Raka gets stuck on the rubble, and Deku sees that. As he rushes over, saves Raka, and destroys the 0 pointer. This is where they leave. Deku, the robots bring Raka to Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl kisses Raka, which makes Raka tired. And then they leave. Araka wants to thank Deku, but Deku is gone, so she can't. And I'm gonna pick up next time after, I might pick up later on today. I might record. So thank you all for watching. Peace out. Just want to leave it off.